you. Good evening, ma'am, and welcome you. Let me introduce Dr. Lalitha. Dr. Lalitha working as professor in Jain Deemed University, Bangalore. Dr. Lalitha did her doctorate at Bhartiyar University, Coimbatore. She published 46 journals. In these, 14 Scopus and 1 essay journal. And she published 8 books in the area of computer science. Dr. Lalitha working on several DST funding projects. Dr. Lalitha have several activities like reviewer for journals, conference speaker, advisory board members, and many more. She received several awards like Outstanding Scientist Award, Best Researcher Award, and many more awards. And she is guiding research scholars in Bhartiyar University as a research supervisor. And one more, Dr. Lalitha presenting lectures in YouTube with her own channel. And the main strength was Dr. Lalitha have 5 years of industry experience. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being a part of this FDP.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, ma'am, can you guide us for how the data loading and how the analysis of machine learning can be done with Python and all?
Yes, sir.
Please tell us, ma'am. Now the platform is yours, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes. So I'm starting the video. Yes. Yeah, very good afternoon to all. First of all, I would like to thank the management, principal, HOD and faculty members of Computer Science Department, Shri, Vishnu Engineering College for providing this wonderful opportunity. And I would also gratitude my special thanks to Kiran, respected Kiran Shri Pokuluri, HOD of Computer Science Department for inviting me here. And I would also like to thank my management, respected Chancellor and Vice Chancellor and HOD Director and faculty members of Computer Science Department of Jain deemed to be university for providing a lot of my career. I hope the participants will enjoy this wonderful day. So let's get started. I will share the screen now. So today I am going to share the topic data analysis and visualization using machine learning. So first of all, before analyzing the data by using machine learning, so we have to know about the data analytics and data analyst and data science. So what is the process of data analytics? So first of all, we have to define the questions, right? So after defining the questions, then we have to collect the right data for to help answer the questions. So then we have to perform the data cleaning for improving the data quality, and it also for prepare it for analysis. So finally, we can manipulate the data by using Excel or Google Sheets or SQL or MySQL. So many number of databases there. So we can manipulate the data by using the databases, and finally, we can analyze and interpret the data by using any statistical tools like or on Python. So more number of tools are there. Yes. So what is the role of the data analyst? So there are various roles whenever you study about the Python and the MySQL and SQL and machine learning concepts and R language and some other languages called Tableau. So these are all the languages and databases for knowing about that analysis and explorations of the data. So after studying this, then we can get a more number of roles like data analyst, data science, and data engineer, and business analyst. So let me see the agenda of today's session. So this is the agenda. So first I have to give the introductions about the Python and continue with the data analytics and what is the process of data collections and what are the methods are available in machine learning, and we will see one of the methods of linear regression methods in machine learning, and finally we can see the data set. Finally we can see the projects, machine learning project, that how to access and manipulate the data by using Python, by using the Python tools. Okay, after that we can see many number of some few projects for I will demonstrate the project of by using Python. I will demonstrate the applications, some world populations and employee management systems and all. Okay, let me see that. So first of all, I think everybody knows about the Python. So because the Python subjects is one of the subject and included in curriculums in many states like Tamil Nadu or Bangalore or Andhra Pradesh, I think. In Tamil Nadu, the +1, +2 students and 10 students are studying the Python language even. Okay, so the Python, what is the meaning by Python? Python is one of the open source programming language, right? It is one of the server-side programming languages also, and otherwise it is called a general purpose language. It is object-oriented programming languages, and then high-level programming languages. Okay, so the Python, it is a very simple and easy to learn the language, which achieves a result in fewer lines of code than other simple languages like R. R is one of the open source. Python is also one of the open source programming language, and PHP is also one of the open source. Ruby is also one of the open source. Perl is one of the open source. Perl, what's the full form of Perl? Practical extraction regular language. That is the meaning of Perl. So Python is one of the open source. So why it is called as open source? Because we can download freely. That is a free to open, free to download, free to share the data, free to share the software, and free to download the software, free to view the software, free to access the software, free to modify the software, free to distribute the software, and free to redistribute the software, right? So that is a special about the open source. So what's the difference between open source and closed source? Closed source means the owner only can able to do some corrections in software, right? So for example, the closed source software or like MS Office. Okay, so Word, that is MS Office, and Adobe Photoshop. So these are all the examples of closed source software. So can you give some examples of open source? So if you know some, you please please share the message in chat box. So what are the open source softwares are available, like what, Blender and DSpace, Genome, GNE compiler corrections, and Mozilla Firefox and Mozilla Chrome. Okay, and PHP, Perl, Python, and Zope. Zope is one of the file server. So many number of open source softwares are available. Okay, nowadays. And why the Python is called cross platform? Because a Python, it can be run on many number of platforms, right? You can run Python in Windows, and you can run Pythons in Linux and MS DOS, and many number of operating systems. You can run in Linux also. So there are various flavors of Linux, right? Ubuntu. There are various flavors of various flavors of Linux operating system. Some of the other operating systems are Red Hat. Okay, so some of the flavors of Ubuntu or Kubuntu, Shubuntu, Edubuntu, Mini Ubuntu. So these are all the most flavors of Ubuntu systems. So you can run in Python in any number of operating systems. So that Python is called as cross-platform. Okay, and it executes faster than other similar languages like the data analysis like R and MATLAB. So it executes faster because it consists of only less number of codes. So whenever you do the project, you do some applications, then it takes only less number of time, it takes only less number of spaces. Okay, and it takes only a less number of codes. So the Python, it provides a faster for running your project. And Python is also used for data analysis, and R language is also used for data analysis, and MATLAB is also used for data analysis. And Python, it has excellent memory management capability and managing the large volumes of data, slicing, dicing, and visualizations. And Python has very large number of libraries like NumPy and Pandas and Matplotlib, and various more number of libraries are available in Python. So let me see why Python for data science. Data science means it is a process of deriving the knowledge and insights from a huge and diverse set of data through organizing, processing, and analyzing the data. And it involves many different disciplines like mathematical and statistical modeling, and it extracting the data from its source and applying the data visualization techniques. So already I explained the process of data analytics now. So what is the process? First we have to collect the questions, and after the collecting the questions, we can perform the data cleaning, and then we can manipulate the data, and finally we can analyze the data by using any number of tools. Okay, you can show the data by using any graphical ways or any meaningful ways like graphs, visualizations, and charts and tables. So finally, what is the role of the data analyst? Data analyst, it report the findings to prepare just the data. What is the role of the data analyst? Just they present the reports to the project managers or department heads or senior level business executives for spot patterns and trends. Okay, next. So this is one of the programming languages is created by Guido van Rossum. So Python is one of the open source, right? So PHP is also one of the open source, but C and C++ are not open source. C is developed by Dennis Ritchie, and C++ is developed by Johnny Strostrup, and Python is developed by Guido van Rossum, and PHP is developed by Rasmus Ladov. Okay, so whenever we compare the Python with C and C++, means Python is best. So by using Python, we can do many number of machine learning methods. You can solve the machine learning problems, and we can do more number of applications in Python. We can do the data analysis and data visualization and data explorations in Python. Okay, and already I explained that it is one of the cross-platform, and Python is also one of the loosely typed language. So what is the meaning of loosely typed language? Because here there is no need for type declaration. Suppose if you want to declare any variables in C, C++, and Java, means then we have to declare the variable, right? So how to declare the variables? The syntax of the declaring the variable is data type and then variable name and continue with semicolon. Okay, so there we have declared the type int A, int B, float A, float B. But in here Pythons, we don't want to need to declare the type. Suppose if you want to assign the integer value to the variable, means that it is automatically considered as an integer data. Okay, so don't give the syntax like data type variable name in Python. So just give the syntax a equal to 10. Suppose if you want to assign any numerical value to the variable, means just give like a equal to 50, a equal to 50.2. So don't give the data type while while assigning the values to the variables. Okay, so that is one of the special in Python. So Python is a cross-platform. Python is a loosely typed language, and Python is also a general purpose language, and Python is also a scripting language, and Python is also called as a interpreter language. So there is no compiler. Okay, you can directly interpret the Python programs, and mainly it is used in web development also. So more number of libraries are available there. Suppose if you want to develop any websites, means then some libraries we have to use for making the websites. Okay, and Python programming is very well suited for beginners, and it is used by almost all tech giant companies like Google, Amazon, Facebook, Instagram, Dropbox, and Ubux. So mainly by using the Python, we can maintain the data sets and databases, and we can mining the cleaning the data also, and we can also prepare the analysis, and we can also preparing the reports. So that is the main things of Python. So on these are all the responsibilities of business analyst or data analyst. Okay. And Python is a simple syntax similar to the English language, and it has only a simple syntax because there is only a fewer lines than other programming languages. It is mainly used for web development, software development, mathematics, and system scripting. So this is the main bare bones of the Python program. So see here the first line. See. So a Python program may contain various elements such as comments, statements, expressions, etc. So see the first line, that is a comment. Every comment is started with a hash symbol in comment. But in C and C++, we can use like a slash and a slash star and end with star slash. Okay, so that is a single line and a multi-line comment here. So, but in Python, we can use the hash symbol for giving the comment. What is the meaning of comment? So, whenever you give the comment, means that that type of statements is not going to execute it. So, it gives meaningful about the program statements. Okay, and then see here again in the second statement, I am giving the a comment also. In the third statement, I'm defining one functions called cu. So how to define the functions in Python? So by using the def keyword, you have to use the def keyword for defining the functions. So here the name of the function is cu and continue with colon operator. Okay, so this is a syntax for defining the functions in Python. So okay, so how to define the functions and how to create the functions in C and C++ and Java. So just you can give the syntax like return type and function name and continue with the argument means arguments, and then you can give the number of function statement by using the curly braces in C and C++ and Java. But in here Python, you can don't give the curly braces here. Okay, so just here use a one tab for all the function statements or class statements. Okay, so this is one of the functions definitions in Python. So how to define the function? Def keyword and then continue with cu. The cu is one of the functions. Okay, and after that I am using two variables, a equal to 15, b equal to a minus 10. So here I am assigning 15 to the variable a. So these are all the statements. Okay, so these are all the statements. I'm not going to declare the variable here. I'm not giving the data type here. Before the a variable, I'm not giving like int, float, and string and character. Okay, so just assume the value to the variable a. So automatically it is treated as integer value. And then in the second statement, see that b equal to a minus 10. So just it subtract 10 with 15. Okay, and after that I'm using display some statements. Okay, so how to display some values in Python? By using the print statement only. So what are the output statement in PHP? Echo is one of the output statement in PHP. And what are the output statement in C#? Like console.writeLine. Okay, readline is one of the input statement and console.writeLine is one of the output statement in C# language. And what is the output statement in C and C++? In C we can use a printf. In C++ we can using the cout statement. But in here we can apply the print statement, not a printf. Print statement, it is used for printing the values in the screen. Okay, I'm checking the conditions here. I am applying the decision making statements here. If and b greater than 5, and then finally after the conditions we can add that colon operator. Okay, so after the pressing one tab, and then we can type the statement like print value of a was more than 15 initially. So if it is b is greater than 15 means here now what's the value of b? That is a 15 minus 10 is 5. Now the value of b is 5 greater than 5. So here I'm not giving the equal operators. Okay, so here the condition false. If the condition false means then it comes, the control flows to the else statement. Okay, so likewise so these are all the comments and these are all the statements, indentations, and we have to call the functions also. So how to invoke the functions call? So just give the name of the function here. What is the name of the functions I define? Cu. Okay, cu. So without function call we can't call the functions. Okay, so this is the bare bones of the Python program. Let me see the data analytics. So what is the meaning of a data? So I think everybody knows about the data. Okay, so data is a set of values of qualitative or quantitative variables, and it is a raw data or unorganized form. It may be a fact, figure, character, symbols, etc. And informations means it is organized data or meaningful data is called as informations. Suppose we see that a plus b is one of the meaningful statement. So that type of statement is called as a meaningful information. Suppose if you give like ya means what? So that is simply like data. There is no meaning about this statement. Okay, so that is called as data. Data means what? It is a raw or unorganized form. That is the meaning of data. So what is the meaning of data collection? So where we have to collect the data? We have to collect the data from a variety of resources like observations, questionnaires. You can collect the data from interviews. You can collect the data from documents or tests or websites or social network or Facebook or LinkedIn. So you can collect from various resources. Okay. So in order to successfully manage the data collection process, programs need a plan that addresses the following. So we have to define the questions, right? So what is the process of data collection? First, we have to define the questions. So what are the questions we have to define now? So these are all the examples for defining the questions. Okay, so before analyzing and visualizing the data, we have to frame the questions. We have to define the questions like this. Okay, so see the questions are: what types of data are most appropriate to answer the questions, and how much data are necessary, who will do the collections, and when and where will the data be collected, and how will the data be compiled and later stored. So this is a process of data collection. So likewise, we can define the questions. Okay, so this is a process. So first we have to collect the data and applying the method like who, when, where, and after that finding the resources from various places, and after that we can storing the data by using databases like SQL or MySQL or MongoDB or any types of databases, and finally we can compile the data by using the analysis tool. We can compile the data. Okay, this is a process of data collections. So next we move to the machine learning. So there are many tools for doing the machine learning concept approaches, right? So Python is one of the tool, and R is one of the tool, and MATLAB is one of the tool. So some of the popular analytical tools are, so more number of paid tools also there. Some of the paid tools are SAS, that is a statistical analysis system, and WPS means World Programming System. This is one of the
Excuse me, ma'am. Voice is not audible, ma'am.
Please wait.
So the resource person Wi-Fi is gone, so she's joining again. Just wait for 2 or 3 minutes.